I have a rule for myself when making videos. It's a simple one, and may explain why over the past 4 or 5 years I've been indulging in this hobby, that my upload schedule has been so erratic. If I have nothing new to say, then say nothing at all. And now, finally, I have something new to say. Many songs stand out in the vocaloid community for their disturbing imagery and themes. Songs that you can be sure have caused many a sleepless night for yours truly. Most of which I've already covered, such as Secrets of Wisteria and Kagome Kagome, songs that infects the minds like a disease, disgusting and foreign, yet so deeply enticing. Here I present another example, one that is well known as it is elusive, one whose mysteries have resisted any attempts to uncover their hidden meaning for years. Sung by Miku and composed by Machigerita P, we have Okaasan, as well as its remake, Okaasan Rebirth. Yes, indeed. For those of you not in the know, this classic has a remake, one that adds much to the original song, which before was shrouded in ambiguity. As such, today I shall analyze both songs, while using the MMD version as visuals, to make for a more enjoyable video. But the two originals will be the analytical focus of this video, as we will be comparing their music and themes, although mainly the hidden messages, to better understand what many have taken aim at over the years, but very few have ever come to fully realize. Now, with all that in mind, it's time to hide before she finds you, because this is Okaasan. As the video starts, we see an image that I'm sure many of you know all too well. Miku looks to the viewer, her face half obscured by shadow, her eyes seeming hollow in a kind of soulless madness that only the worst kind of fear could produce. Over this disturbing sight, a pulsing techno beat plays, trailing off with the consistency of a beating heart. After just 30 seconds of this, a sharp riff slashes through the beating like a knife, going up and down as though sawing its way through the song itself. The sound of maniacal laughter joins the beat, and each component of this veritable symphony of insanity builds until the laughing voices suddenly scream out in fear and horror. Already, the song gives us plenty to analyze and explore, from simply the musical composition itself, as I believe the starting instrumentation stands for Miku's character's mental state at the beginning of the song. The pulsing techno beat to me sounds like a heart, steady and consistent, yet with the deep rhythm of somebody filled with fear, the sharp riff being a sudden burst of adrenaline, as if that heart has gone from fear and trepidation to now entering a state of pure flight or fight. The laughing is tricky to determine, but not without some explanation. To me, the laughing has two explanations, as it may be the mother advancing towards the nameless girl, a maniacal laugh indicating the mother's maddened state, or perhaps it's some supernatural entity observing or reliving these events, finding sadistic glee in the current state of affairs. As to which option is the correct one, that will be answered later. Just be patient. Miku begins to speak, and instantly the emotionless sound of her voice strikes me like a hammer. Now, despite what many detractors would say, vocaloids do not sound emotionless by nature. A skilled composer like Machigerita P could easily make these programs sound as emotive as they want. So to have Miku sound so emotionally vacant, well, it's no accident. But the lyrics go as such. Twisting, twisting, twisting. The neck is twisting. Squeak, 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 making the sound. The song wastes no time in showing the viewer what lies in store. Already the listener is presented with the idea of a twisting neck. But the question must be asked, whose neck is being twisted? Miku's character or the mother? For my part, I believe it's the nameless girl's neck that is being twisted by the mother, by virtue of the fact that the person whose neck is being twisted makes a squeaking noise, as though the sudden snapping of the girl's neck has caused her final breath to be forced out of her in a high-pitched, well, squeak. Now, this naturally leads to the question of how the girl communicates if she's already been killed. Well, the answer is rather simple. I believe, in this song, the girl played by Miku is something of an onryo, a vengeful spirit that haunts the living after a death filled with negative emotions. My main proof for this theory will come later, but for now, I will go over how I believe this idea affects the song. If this theory is the case, what would that mean? If the girl is dead, then why does it appear that the mother is still chasing her? Well, the answer lies within the nature of onryo themselves. Japan is filled with many examples of onryo that have crossed over into Western media, such as the Slit-Mouthed Woman and her famous creepypasta, or The Grudge and its Western film adaptation. Both of these have one thing in common which pertains to the song: the repetition of the acts in which they were killed. And before anyone mentions Sadako, sorry to say, but she does not fit into this idea, as in the original Japanese film and the novel it was based off of, she dies after a month in the well that became her grave from smallpox, unlike in the American version where she died after a week, explaining why she gives her victims 7 days. But to get back on track, now that we've established that onryo repeat the nature in which they were killed upon their victims, and that the nameless girl in the video is an onryo, what does that mean? Well, quite simply, it means she's haunting the listener, the person who's hearing her pleas, bringing them the same fear, bringing you that same fear that she experienced. Let's continue with the song, shall we? The music picks up, as Miku's voice goes from detachment to fear as she sings,
"My mother is here, only her neck will be twisting. My mother will look at me, where my neck is."
Then, it seems the nameless girl starts screaming. Whether it be from pain, fear, or both is yet to be determined. Nevertheless, after said scream, the word mother is said in a manner that would seem to be an attempt to simulate stuttering when spoken through a vocaloid, indicating either fear or difficulty breathing. After this, the same lyrics repeat again as before, but after the final word of the repeated lyrics, more is said. Not sung, but said. Miku is no longer singing. She's speaking to you, to me, to whomever may be listening. She says, "My mother is here. You must run away, now. My mother is coming. She already got me." And with that, one final burst of noise shoots forth, and the song ends. Now, as I'm sure many of you may already know, this song has a reversed version, one that hides a hidden message, a la Secrets of Wisteria, one that I will be reading out in its entirety here for your listening pleasure, after which I will be analysing it before going into the rebirth of this song. Don't worry, it won't take but a moment. Why am I here? Would you please help me? My Okaasan is here. She's coming to kill me. Would you kill us right before her? Would you help me find my way through? She will have us right in front of her. We will be dead in a few weeks. She will kill us all in time. Okaasan, will you help me? Please, I'm begging. In a few days, I will be dead. Will you help me? Keep me from her. It will help us get out fast. Get out! Father, is she? I will be here no more. Venom! 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 The reverse lyrics hold two key ideas. The first one is simple to ascertain. The hidden message takes place days before the song itself, possibly even weeks, chronologically speaking anyway. This is seen by the progression of time, as the message goes from weeks to days, with the girl's second to last line being, "I will be here no more." Meaning this could be the moment of her death. As for the final line, well, that's where the real money is. The word for venom in Japanese is doku, which is a word pertaining to any harmful substance in the same ilk as venom, such as poisons or toxins. Well, at least that's what my research says. And just as we English speakers would say toxic as in someone or something that emanates negative energy, this word carries the same connotation. And if you've been paying attention, you'll see what I'm driving at. Onryo are negativity made manifest. They are a poison upon the living world. They are doku. They are venom. But what does this mean for the song? After all, I said I would explore this, and I don't believe I went into it as deep as I could. Well, the answer will come later. As to answer that, first I will need to look at Okasan Rebirth. Or rather, the hidden message in Okaasan Rebirth. Now, I'm sorry if you're getting tired of me repeating lyrics to you. But don't worry, this will be the last time. Cross my heart, hope to die, stick a needle in my eye. Oh yes, and thank you to Tumblr user FYeah, Vocaloid and Uta Horror for the translation. Much appreciated. Now I'm here. Please, help me. Pray. When I had heard of this, you were not here. This is because this is the most memorable of my sad memories. Thanks for listening. Thank you for helping me. Help me. Help me. I'm behind you. And here we see the nature of this Onryo. This nameless girl was killed by her mother long, long ago. Her neck was snapped, however, not before weeks of fear and pain, knowing that the woman who brought her into this world was going to take her out of it in such a brutal fashion. She tried to run, she tried to hide, tried to escape, but it was all for naught. She died, but she's not gone, forever trapped in that moment of pain and fear, warning anyone who hears her voice of their imminent death, toying with them, playing with their fears as her mother once did. And finally, mercifully, she gets behind you, wraps her hands around your soft little neck, and you feel it, twisting, twisting, twisting. Well, here we are once again, ladies and gentlemen, where I forget the script, forget reading off anything, and just give you my raw after thoughts of the song and video. And here, there's not much for me to say, other than quite simply, I feel a certain level of pride in this video that I haven't felt in some time. I cannot help but feel that I've discovered something that not many other people have been able to realise. When I realised that the word doku could mean negativity as much as, say, venom or toxins, and then relating that back to the idea of onryo and the feeling of repetition this song gives, especially with the repeating lyrics, which now, quite frankly, I regret not putting in the lyrics or the analysing segment of this video itself. I quite regret it, but that's why I have these afterthoughts, so I can give you these last bits before I close off. So anyway, once again, thank you for listening.